This is Jamie Oikel from runningrestaurants.com, where we bring the tips, tools, and techniques you need to make your restaurant more profitable. I've got a great one question with episode for you today with Dyson Barnett, CEO and founder of Fan Connect. Here we go. Dyson, I want to talk about a real simple idea and concept, but it has to be executed day in and day out. And that is building a customer list. All right, so you get this, right? You bake this concept into everything you do for restaurants, but forget about that for a second and let's go back to the basics. Why is a customer list so important, and how can restaurants really do this well?
Yeah, so customer list, really important. Why? Well, one is these are people already buying from you, right? So if you haven't figured out already, once they get in the door, you've already spent that money. You want them to keep on coming in the door. But they're also great influencers. If they like your food, if they like your environment, they like your wait staff, they can influence other buyers. Whereas when you go out and you do the spray and pray or any other form of advertising, you're just trying to get somebody in the door, right? You don't know anything about them or anything. They're just suspect. So these people that are coming to you right now, get them in the customer list, and have a strategy on how you're going to use that customer list. So that's not like, oh, I now have this list, I don't know what to do with it. You really want to have a strategy is how many times a year do you want to touch them? Why do you want to touch them? What type of engagement are you going to do? It's not really all about offers. We wrap in different events throughout the year that are very important to communicate to a customer. And also the other end of that strategy would be getting this customer to become a raving fan for your business and helping them influence other buyers, right? So it's really important. And don't just think, oh, I'm going to capture your email address and I'm going to put it away in the drawer somewhere and we're never going to do anything. Once you put it into your Excel spreadsheet or whatever, make sure you have a meaningful way of exercising it.
Well, Dyson, let me jump on you right there, because you work with clients and you can spread this message maybe more effectively than I can. But I have given restaurants my email address and I have heard crickets, silence. So, whether it's that little form on the table that says, give us your email and blah, 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 join the club. And so I do that because specifically I'm in the business and I want to see how they're doing their marketing. I also, of course, want the offers. But anyway, so I'm signing up for stuff and then I am not getting anything. So I want to say, what the hell is happening? Why are restaurants dropping the ball? So talk about that for a second. What about data capture and then utilization?
Yeah, so first things, data capture, one of the things that we see a lot is we get these forms from customers because we do a lot of data entry for our clients. One of the things is that it's not legible. So make sure that your form is created correctly so that you have legibility. That's number one. Number two is, like I said just a few moments ago, have a plan on exactly what it is that you're going to do. Use a service kind of like us or one of our competitors, whatever. But the idea here is have a plan. So I get the email. How fast are you going to be sending something to them? Your strategy ought to be within 48 to 72 hours. Why? Because it's fresh in your customer's head. You want to engage them. You say, hey, thanks for giving me that information. Give them, make it kind of sting a little bit by giving them, a valuable offer to get them back in the door within 7 to 10 days. And what I mean by sting is you want to put something in front of them that's a valuable offer. Yes, it's going to cost you a little bit of money, and that's exactly why you're going to be really good about using your list and not forgetting that you have it, as so many people do. It's really odd that they do that stuff. And it really hurts your relationship that you're trying to build with your customer, right? Because if they think, well, why did I do that? What do you think is going to happen over time? They might think differently about your business.
Yeah. So two things that I like there is immediacy that you talked about. So getting it into the list and then getting a communication out in the near term, and then a strategy. And specifically to build on strategy, the best restaurants are going to have a marketing calendar that says, 4 times a month, we're going to email our folks, and they pick Tuesday, and they're religious about hitting Tuesday. And then, a bad restaurant is going to, wake up on today and say, what can we do this week? And then they do something this week because they're in a rush, and then they forget about it for 3 weeks. So I love that. Build a calendar, build a strategy that picks days, wrap them around holidays, special events, marketing promotions that you like, sporting events in your town, stuff that makes sense. So I like that aspect of it. The last part of list building that I want to get with you, and then we'll wrap up, is the different platforms. So if you were to say to a restaurant, list building, what sort of list should they build? And the first thing that comes to my mind is email, mobile, Facebook, what kind of list should they be using these days?
Uh, I definitely think of all the above that you just said. Definitely, when you think of your customer, they're always on the go, and that one device that's common with them is their mobile device, right? But the mobile device serves as an email receptor to receive their emails, text messaging, Facebook even, and then of course, lastly, is the telephone, right? So very few restaurants are reaching out via telephone to say things, which might be an avenue for some restaurants to utilize. But I would definitely use a piece of technology that harvests all of that at one time. Because you don't want to keep on annoying your customer. You want to give him or her the ability to say how he or she wants to be connected to your business. And then, so you want to have technology in-house, whether it be a kiosk stand that's going to, allow your customer to enter in those critical pieces and have automation then ask for those pieces, whether or not you integrate it into your Facebook page. So it's not like double duty things, and it all pours into one database. So it's useful at the end of the day. And then setting automation so that you can use, if they being your patron gives you two forms of communication like email and mobile, perhaps you use a system that can fire off on both of those, right? So you want to make sure that you have something in place that's going to leverage all the assets that your customer permits you to use. So definitely when list building, use as much as you can, not just one thing, but as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just build on that for a second, because there is no one silver bullet these days. It's a fragmented attention space, but you hit on it when you talked about people using their phones to do a lot of the stuff that they do, and they're using that to do Facebook and Instagram and so forth. So when you are sending an email, cross promote to your Facebook. When you're posting on Facebook, mention your Instagram. When you're on Instagram, mention your email. When you're on, you know what I mean? Have these things do a virtuous cycle so that people find you in multiple places where they are on their time, in their space. So you absolutely should have a strategy that builds as big a list as you can. Everything from print, because who knows, you may want to do postcards, print, email, text, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. It's a lot to think about, but the bigger list you have in each of those platforms gives you the opportunity to control your marketing and not rely on somebody like Groupon or somebody else. When you have your list, you're in control. So I love that stuff. I'm a big fan of list building. I think a lot of restaurants are not doing this well. I think a lot of them are dropping the ball when they collect the data and then not having a strategy. So Dyson hit on a lot of good points there. I appreciate it. Folks, that was Dyson Barnett, CEO and founder of FanConnect. You can learn all about their array of marketing services for restaurants at www.getfanconnect.com. That is GETFANCONNECT.com. And for more great restaurant marketing, operations, service, people, and tech tips, be sure to stay tuned to us at runningrestaurants.com. We'll see you soon.